Oh man, Mayweather versus McGregor. There hasn't been this good of a fight since the last time I tried to not cheat on my diet, which was 20 minutes ago. I lost that bout. Howdy neighbor, welcome, greetings, salutations, how are you, how you been, how you gonna be doing? I don't know man, I'm running out of intros here. Real quick, over the weekend it appears that I got over 4,000 subs. Woo. I think the only reason that is because so many people don't realize that there's an unsub feature on YouTube. As soon as you guys figure that out, I'm fucked. So I wanted to make a video about McGregor versus Mayweather because 1, hot topic equals views. 2, I'm a big fan of combat sports, trained for a couple of years in boxing, still do my own thing pretty frequently, so I'm interested in such a huge event like this. 3, there is a lot, and I can't emphasize that, a lot of stupid / ignorant people putting their stupid opinions out on the internet about this fight.
This is a joke. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, this
100% of the pressure is on Floyd Mayweather Jr. He has everything to lose and literally nothing to gain in this fight.
Last thing, recently announced, Mayweather's back. Conor McGregor, what's your take on the whole situation?
I think Conor McGregor will knock him out in the first 35 seconds, like he done to Josie Aldo, to be honest.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
So 1, who do I want to win? Short answer, Conor McGregor. If you got a hard on for long answers, I'm happy to oblige you now. I'm pretty sure I want Conor McGregor to win, just because I'm a bigger fan of Conor than I am Floyd for a couple different reasons. Conor winning would honestly be amazing. Like, at that point, this guy would have no reason to believe he couldn't be the president. I'm pretty sure if he did that, we could overlook the whole not a natural born citizen thing. I mean, our standards for president are kind of dropping. You know, we see who's in there now, so. And just for the people who ride Trump's dick, Hillary and Trump were both shit. That's not even relevant. I think that would just be amazing to see because 1, obviously, like I said, I'm a fan of Conor, and 2, I'm not really a fan of how Floyd fights. As someone who understands boxing, I respect it completely. He's an amazing fighter, right? He might be the best defensive boxer of all time, honestly, if you're really thinking about it. But oddly enough, that's why a lot of people aren't a fan of Floyd Mayweather, is because he's a boxer, he's not a fighter. Like some of the other guys you go out there swinging for the fences from the first bell to the last. Those are the interesting ones. But that said, those guys don't have long undefeated careers, so Conor's my pick. Now let's talk about how that isn't going to happen. Here's the thing. Anybody who knows anything about fighting, you don't have to be an expert, you don't have to dedicate your life to boxing. You only have to have a brain that works. If you have a brain that works, you can reasonably come to the conclusion that there is a 99.99 chance Floyd wins, any way you cut it. It seems like a lot of people think boxing and MMA are similar just because it's both punching, when that couldn't be farther from the truth. First scenario that isn't gonna happen is Conor catching Mayweather and knocking him out. You gotta kind of trickle it down and apply what people are saying about Conor to his other opponents. The first one that comes to my head is Saul Alvarez, an incredible boxer, one of the best, which him fighting Triple G is probably going to be a better fight than this anyways. That's neither here nor there. But you look at him and it's like, he knocks people out, like out cold, like this. And he does that in pretty convincing fashion. He has 49 wins, 34 are knockouts. 67% knockout. So you look at a boxer like that and you think like, okay, well he just has to catch Mayweather and he wins. Because that's what he does in his other fights. That's all he has to do. He has 12 rounds, just one lucky shot to get. But he didn't do it because he couldn't do it. I don't know why people so continuously overlook Mayweather's defense as if it didn't win him probably half his fights, if not even all of them, if you break it down. But for whatever reason, everybody still has that mindset like, oh no, Conor can catch him. Like he's not gonna catch him because Mayweather's not gonna slip and let him catch him. So no, Conor isn't going to catch him because Mayweather's defense is too strong to let someone who's literally never fought in boxing catch him. That's another thing, is experience. Like, okay, sure, Conor's trained for boxing. I think that's might have been where he started out, actually. Don't quote me on that. Sure, he's trained in boxing. Sure, he utilizes some boxing techniques in MMA fights, but he doesn't have experience in a boxing ring. And it's not as simple as just not kicking. It's totally different, like I said. A good example of what I mean is, say you take two dogs. The first dog you teach for an entire year, 3 hours a day, how to fetch. That dog's gonna be amazing at fetching, right? And then you have a second dog. For 1 year, you train him 3 hours a day, but you train him how to fetch, shake, speak, sit, the whole 9 yards. You teach him how to do a multitude of things versus the dog who's just learning to fetch. Sure, the dog who's learning everything is gonna be more well-rounded, probably considered to be better trained in general, but he's not gonna beat the dog who's been fetching for an entire year. That's exactly what this is. Mayweather's been training since he was a baby to box. And obviously, he's figured something out that's working for him. Significantly better than anybody else in the sport. So to say Conor is gonna go in there and catch him, or I've even seen people say he's gonna outbox him, that's just disrespectful. Another point that's worth considering is, we all remember how Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor the first time went, right? Didn't go good for Conor. And Nate Diaz is far from a bad boxer. What's overlooked is that, yeah, he won by submission, but he really won the fight with his boxing.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
If the case is he was just getting outboxed by Nate Diaz, what are the real chances he's gonna even hold a candle to Floyd Mayweather? I'm not saying that's the case, because he's fought decent boxers before and beat them, but it's something worth considering. Another argument that a lot of dick riders have is that Conor hits harder than Floyd, when that's just wrong. Like I said, boxers train to be boxers. They train to hit people hard and not get hit. So when you're putting all that time towards something and you don't have to delegate any of your time to kicking, grappling, any of the other martial arts, when you can just do that, you're gonna be a harder hitter than someone who has to do a lot of things. I wouldn't say boxers are better fighters overall, obviously, because they're not, but they're better strikers, without a shadow of a doubt. Another thing that just straight up doesn't make any fucking sense to me is the people who are like, oh yeah, put Floyd in an octagon, he doesn't last 30 seconds. And that is 100% true. Any boxer who hasn't trained in MMA, being thrown in an MMA fight with one of the best at the time, isn't gonna stand a chance, not even a little bit. So why isn't that logic applied to putting Conor in a boxing ring? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. That's like saying, put LeBron James in Tom Brady's position and he gets killed. Put Tom Brady in LeBron's position and he does great. It makes no sense at all. And it's not just boxing, right? It's like, put him in a Muay Thai ring against the best Muay Thai fighter. He's gonna lose. MMA fighters are generalists. If you put a generalist up against a specialist in the specialist's field, the generalist doesn't stand a chance. Now I understand the idea that if Conor were to beat him, that doesn't automatically make Conor better than all the boxers that Mayweather's beat. But it's like, if all the good boxers that Mayweather's fought couldn't get over on him, couldn't catch him, couldn't outbox him, where is the logic in saying that Conor could? Like, if Manny Pacquiao, Marcos Maidana, Saul Alvarez, Miguel Cotto, Victor Ortiz, Shane Mosley, Ricky Hatton, if those boxers couldn't get over on Floyd, why is Conor going to be able to when he hasn't been training nearly as long as those boxers? I know I keep going back to Canelo, but I really can't see a scenario where Conor beats Mayweather, but Canelo couldn't. Another talking point that's along with this fight is it good for the sport of boxing? And honestly, I don't think it's good or bad. I think it just is. Because it's not like Floyd blew off a list of opponents that were waiting in line to get at him to fight Conor. He was in retirement, then came out to fight Conor because that's the only fight that makes sense for him to take. Think about it. He's undefeated. He has nothing left to prove in the sport of boxing. He's made his money. What's the reason to come back? To fight the biggest name in combat sports right next to him at the time. And that's why this is happening. It's not because Conor's the best boxing opponent for him to challenge him. It's for the entertainment value. And by entertainment value, I mean that paycheck. Personally, I'm probably not even going to buy the fight. Like, if I wanted to see Floyd work someone for 12 rounds, I could go back to any of his other fights and look at him. That's why I'll be streaming it illegally online. So in conclusion, I want Conor to win because that would just be amazing to see. However, that's not going to happen considering Mayweather is one of, if not definitively, the best of our time. And someone with no boxing experience isn't going to go into his first boxing match and beat the top dog. If Mayweather goes in there and in the first 3 rounds feels him out, breaks him down like he usually does, and feels he's a little bit weaker, maybe he'll try to go for a TKO or a KO, something flashy in early rounds. If he feels like maybe he's polished up his skills a little bit, he's just going to play him for 12 rounds. It's that simple. Thanks for watching, and come August 26th when Floyd wins, I won't be surprised, motherfucker.